While I was away looking at colleges with my daughter, one of the things that I recognized, which of course we already know, but it became very clear to me, was that all of us, we can learn things in a book. We can read and read and read all we want, and we can listen to podcasts and we can look at, documentaries and all the other ways that you absorb information. um, and you can think you know something, right? But then really the only truth of really knowing something is experiencing something. And I think this happens a lot with spiritual practice, right? You can read a spiritual text, or even with an asana, you can be like, oh yeah, I see that pose, so I know that pose. But really, until you feel that pose and experience that pose, you don't know that pose. And the same thing with a spiritual text. You can understand intellectually a concept, such as I need to surrender, and you can have that living in your mind. But until you really experience that in your life, whether, through any kind of experience, it doesn't necessarily have to be a yoga practice, but through the experiential nature of our relationships and our life, that's when we really start to truly understand the concepts that we read about in the Yoga Sutra and other spiritual texts. So same thing happened with my daughter. On paper, this college seemed like an absolutely perfect fit. So she applied and got in, and all of it. And then we went to go visit, and it was just not a perfect fit at all. And so it's the kind of thing that sometimes we can't embody just from our mind. We have to embody from our body and from our physical experiences. So one of the best things that we can do with our yoga practice is be present for it, to be present for the physicality of it, instead of just knowing, oh, I'm supposed to do that, or my foot's supposed to go there. But the feeling of your foot going there is a very different experience. So as you sit and close your eyes for a moment, think about something where this has kind of played in your life, where you've thought you've understood something, um, through the mind, but really it took the embodiment to really truly understand something. This can be how you feel about somebody. This can be a spiritual concept. This can be just the simple feeling of, I know what to do with my feet right now because I'm in my body. All right. So think about something in your life where, when you became present to the experience, when you became aware in mind, body, spirit, that a lesson kind of really seeped into your bones, where you understood on a very different and complete level than just something that you learn in your mind. Let's have gratitude for the experiential way we can learn. Let's have gratitude for the way our mind can learn in all the different ways that we learn. Let's have gratitude for the ways in which we learn a new skill in our mind body, and it takes time. And we give ourselves patience to come into understanding. So be inside your breath and body right now. See what you can do to embody your practice. So, no matter what we do today, whether it's something you feel successful at or fumbling through, whether you feel awkward or fluid, whether you feel fully capable or not, can you just live in the embodiment of what is? Feel into the way the breath is moving through you. Feel into the centering of your sit bones, the way your body balances its own weight. Notice where you can relax a little bit more. place your hands together at your heart. And bow in and offer an intention for your practice. Let's release the hands and come onto your back. So as you lie down on your mat, just notice, try to start taking a little stock of how you are today in your body. If you've been moving your body a lot, moving your body not as much, if you've been sleeping well or not sleeping well, if you've been eating well or not eating well. So just without any judgments or expectations, just notice your state of being, mind and body. All right, let's reach through our sides. So stretch the right side, stretch the left side. Come into that beautiful awakening of the body. All right, and then bring your knees into your chest. And let's rock a little bit, swaying side to side. Just feel that sense of ease that comes with rocking. And circle of the knees, hang on to your knees with your hands. Let's circle them one direction, feel into the sacrum. See if you can just let all your hip flexors relax, let your arms do the work. Okay, switch sides, switch directions. Feel that you have a little massage going on in your sacrum here. How's your breath? Stay present for your breath as much as you can. Open your legs away from the midline and then back toward the midline. Just noticing the hip joints and what's here, what's available. All right. And then let's spread our limbs wide out, reaching outward, wiggling your fingers and toes. Hang out there for a moment. Let's roll your wrists and your ankles. Maybe even internally and externally rotate your whole legs all the way up from your hips. And then bring your knees and pick up your head, snug little ball. Relax your head down, right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground. Feel that deep compression in the hip joints and knee joint. Relax your head as best as you can on the ground. Change sides, left knee in, right leg coming long on the ground, and enjoy the squeeze. Notice if your hips and your knees feel different. They probably do. You know, no two sides are exactly the same, so just pay attention. And then one more time, stretching your limbs wide out. Knees into your chest. Pick up your head. Let's roll over onto our right side. You can put a block underneath your head if you need a little support. Everything at right angles. The hands are coming straight out from your shoulders. Knees are bent, hips are bent. Inhale, open up your left arm over to the ground. And then exhale and bring it back. Okay, twice more. Inhale, open the book. Feel that sense of space in your chest and torso. And then exhale and close it on up. One more time. Open things up. Let your knees slide apart so your chest can expand more. And then release your hands back. Come all the way over to the other side. So we're rolling to the left. Support your head if you want to. Hands together, knees and hips at right angles. Inhale, open up the book. Try to get the back of the hand, right hand on the ground. And then close it on up. And just notice your rib cage mobility here. What's available? Where do you get a little stuck? Just move into the breath. See if you can feel the feeling of your breath filling and emptying in your body. All right, stretch out onto your back, a starfish again, big breath. Exhale, knees into your chest, head comes up. Put your feet on the ground. Let's windshield wiper our knees. Just kind of going back and forth. Now you can go a little deeper into this or you can stay moving. If you want to go a little deeper, drop your knees over to the left and pick up your left foot to the outside of the right knee. Stretch your right arm up and away. If you're still moving side to side, make sure you're breathing. And then release that if you're held. Another little rocking, and then go over to the right foot on top of outside of left knee. Stretch your left arm up and away. A big breath. Knees into your chest. Pick up your head. And relax. All right, take your body, we're staying on the ground just a little bit longer. Take your legs over to the left. Take your shoulders and your arms over to the left. Try to make a gentle half moon with your body, a letter C. We're going to try to keep the right hip as descending into the ground as the left. Right shoulder down as much as the left. So we're not tipping over to the left. We're staying with our back on the floor. Stretch through your body. You can hook onto your hand. Feel that full side body stretch. You can even cross your ankle over the other. And come back. Roll all the way to your right side. Tuck into a little ball. Inhale, expand to a star. And then take the left, body over to the right. So our legs are going over right, and our head, shoulders, and arms are going over to the right. Feel that you still are weighted through the left side of your body on the ground. If you want to hook wrists or hands, if you want to hook ankles, if that helps you to kind of lengthen and find space, you can do that or not. Let your head be heavy on the ground. Let your breath be full. And then release that. Roll over onto your left side. Tuck into a little ball. Relax your back. And then inhale, star out one more time. Exhale, knees into your chest. Head comes up. Roll over onto your right side. And now we can come up off the ground. Okay. So onto all fours. Start to feel that you're moving your body through some cat-cows. Okay, so we're arching and rounding the spine. I'm gonna just get my watch on so that I don't keep you here forever. As you move through your cat-cows, notice the fullness of your vertebrae. See if you can feel that you're really opening up each little disc space, that you're letting some light shine through all the different vertebrae. How is your breath moving through your body? Feel free to move things around any way you want. You can wag tail, you can move your shoulders. And then we're going to find our way back to a child's pose. Settle yourself down, let your body rest on your thighs a little bit, walk those hands forward. Allow your back to open. We're going to lift up to dog pose, spread out your hands, spread out your feet, and start to find some movement here. So let's start to wake up your legs. We're pedaling our feet. You can go very slow or you can go very quickly. Whatever feels really good. Let your head be heavy. Feel that you're evenly distributing your weight between your hands and your feet. Feel into the fullness of your breath. The heart's lifting up to the hips. The sit bones are lifting high. The heels are descending. And then we're going to round our spine a little bit as we move through this. So round your spine to roll forward into a plank. And then straighten out the spine while you're here. Chest moves forward. And then round your spine as you go back. And find your dog pose. Again, round your spine, coming forward to a plank. And then round your spine, rolling back to dog pose. Lengthen through your spine here, breathing well. Melt the skull. When you feel ready, walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana. Let your head relax. Melt a little bit, bend your knees as much as you want to. If you can let any tension go, wag your tail, wag your shoulders, wag your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. You can use blocks if you want, or your thighs. Hang out here for a moment. Don't go down right away. Pedal your feet while you're here. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Just getting into the backs of the legs, letting things open up. You can let your hips move around a little bit. And bend your knees, soften, release your head down. Drop your seat, rise all the way up. Bring your arms to the sky. Open up through your chest. Cactus, open your arms, feel that back body come alive. Arms coming up one more time, lean back, let the chest open. Exhale, release your hands down. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open your chest, bend your knees. Let your arms move away from your spine. Dangle your head. Just opening up all sorts of little nooks and crannies in your body. All right, go ahead and release the arms. Come down into a forward fold. Relax your head. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melt and come down again. Step back to dog pose. Okay. So feel into that full length of the body again. Breathe well. Roll forward, maybe with a rounded spine until you get to that plank, and then straighten things out. Shoulders away from the ears. Turn your navel to the right. Finding your breath, chest faces floor. Back to center. Turn your navel to the left. Starting to wake up some of your obliques. Back to center. Down onto the ground with your knees. Find the floor. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. Inhale, cobra pose, let the chest open. Exhale, melt back down. Get onto spider tips of your fingers, so on the finger pads, arms out a little wider. Lift up again, turn your head to the right. Back down. How's your breath? Lift up, head to the left. Come up onto all fours. Move your spine about, wag your tail. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. And as you're ready, take that needle, thread it through. All right, so feel into the back rib cage. Notice the weight of your head, let it drop into the earth. Enjoy the ribs, enjoy the breath. Inhale, bring that arm back up. Hand comes down onto the ground, second side, arm up. Slide that arm through. Gaze toward the floor. A big breath here. Melting, melting. Your head is soft and relaxed. And then inhale. Reach that arm all the way back up to the sky. Hand comes down onto the ground. All fours. Let's do some rib cage rolling. So we're going to drop our ribs down toward the ground, over to the right. Lift your ribs up toward the sky, over to the left, down again. Okay, 2 more times, passing through that range. How's your breath? Once you get down to the bottom, spin the other direction. Notice your breath. See if you can feel your ribs move, feel the articulations at your sternum and at your spine. And then back towards child's pose. Let your head relax. Breathing well. Walk the hands over to one side of your mat or the other. Open up those side ribs here. Just working with the ribs today a little bit. So just feeling into that range of motion that's available in lots of different directions. Over to the other side. Feel the compression in your hips. Let your back relax, your low back relax. And rib cage is opening big. Coming back to center. Up onto all fours, left leg straight back behind you in the air. find your core here. Breathing well, right arm out in front. Stabilize through your center. Big breath. Exhale, elbow and knee coming underneath you. Inhale, bringing it up. Exhale, drawing it in. One more time. Out you come. And in you go. Moving with your breath. Reaching that arm and leg wide. Place your hand down. Place your foot down. Keep your legs straight. So curl your toes under. We're going to cross that leg over to the side, to the opposite side, and turn and look out over your foot. So just stretching the space between your ribs and your pelvis. Okay, back to center. Place that knee down onto the ground. A moment of a child's pose. Notice the sensation difference between your left and right sides. Back up, other leg. Stretch out behind you. Now our left arm's out in front, right leg behind. Stabilize through your core. Finding the breath. As your next exhale comes, tuck in. Elbow and knee coming underneath. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, out you come. Last time, in you go. Straighten your arm and leg out. Place your hand down. Toes curl under. Leg is straight. Foot down onto the ground. Cross the foot over to the other side. Turn and look at your foot. Big breaths here. Feel that side body open. And then come back. Child's pose. Decide whether you want a rounded spine, an anterior tilt pelvis, a posterior tilt pelvis. What's going to make your body feel good? Do you want to wiggle and move? Do you want to be still? How are you breathing? Okay, now before we come up to stand and do some standing poses, come onto our back for a moment. Bring your knees into your chest. We're going to do this either with legs straight up or with knees bent. So your choice. Hands interlaced behind the base of your skull to make a pillow for your head. Okay, if your legs are up, we're going to drop our right leg down. And if your knees are bent, just straighten your right leg down. So we're hovering off the floor. We're not touching the floor. Lift your chest. Your chest moves to the left knee. Back to center, leg up. Change sides. So just waking up the obliques, the rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominis. Feel that your center body, no matter whether your legs are bent or straight, is activated, stabilizing. We're not pulling and yanking on our head. We're not moving from our elbows. Move from your chest. Once you feel done, even on both sides, knees to your chest, feel free to rock. Inhale, stretch your body out wide. Exhale, knees in, head comes up. Take your time, roll over onto your side, come into dog pose. Okay, so there's no rush for your movements. Remember, we're in this sense of trying to be fully present in the sensations of the body. Place your mind into the breath, into this present moment. Whatever you're feeling, whatever sensation catches your eye, see if you can really fully experience your body and your breath. Walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana. While you're here, wag your tail, wag your head, shimmy, whatever feels good. You can bounce a little if it feels nice. Inhale for a halfway lift. The spine gets long. Exhale. And melt. Drop your seat, rise up. Arms coming to the sky, open chest, cactus arms. And then round your spine, chin to chest, forearms come to touch. Release your arms down, open your chest. Take your right foot forward, your left foot back. As we find our lunge, hands can come on blocks if you want them to. And let's start moving, bending and straightening the knee. See what it feels like to start paying attention to the hips. You can put your back knee down on the ground. You can keep it up off the ground, however you want to come into a crescent lunge. So you decide what feels best in your body. Put your arms anywhere you want. That fullness of your posture, that sense of expansion and spaciousness. All right, we're going to come back down. This time, place your left arm, a hand rather, either on the ground or on the block for a twist. Open things up, breathing well. We're going to do some movements here. So this is backstroke, think backstroke with that right arm. So we're swinging it back near our hip, sweeping it onto the floor and forward, up again. Now, instead of letting this just be a shoulder movement, let's let it be a whole rib movement. Notice what your back leg is doing. And find your way into a lunge again. Walk your back foot forward, fold. Neck is soft, shimmy if you want. Take your other foot back. Now our left foot is forward, right foot is behind. All right, so as we start to move, notice what it feels like to have that sense of fluidity with breath, where we're bending and straightening that front leg. Go as slow as you want, go as fast as you want. Find your breath. Find sensation. Explore what you're feeling. Dive right into your sensation. Be fully present. Find your way into a lunge. You can put your back knee down if you want. You can lift it up, whatever feels good. We're going to rise up to a crescent. Arms can come up, hands can stay down. Where are you today? Okay, so treat your body with utmost respect and care, but take yourself into those big of movements as you can. Find your range that's available in a healthy way. Try to mirror, or not mirror, but find that balance between the effort that's required and the surrender that's necessary. Go ahead and bring yourself down. Put your hand on the block, right hand on block or on the floor, whichever feels comfortable for you. Other arm in the air. Twist from the rib cage. As you feel ready, let's find the movement. So we're using our core here. We're not just relying on our shoulder. Big fluid circle movements. Hug into the midline with your legs. Press your front foot into the ground. All right, back to a lunge. And then when you feel ready, dog pose. Extending through your spine, melt through your head. Round your spine forward, come to a plank. Shoulder blades down the back, collarbones broad. Navel turns to the right, chest faces the ground. Back to center, navel turns to the left, chest faces the ground. Find your knees first if that's comfortable for your body. Roll your shoulders. Inhale, cobra pose or any back bend you want. Exhale. And melt. Come on up on all fours. Dog pose if you want, or just come up to stand. However feels right for you to transition. Breathing deeply. Come into Tadasana. So let's find a squat. Take your feet to the edges of the mat or wider, whatever feels good. If you have a knee that is unhappy, just see what you can do to give as much weight into there as possible. Maneuver your positioning higher or lower to find comfort. Drop into the deepness of your hips as best as you can. Okay, come on up. We're going to take our legs a little wider now. Standing star, deep breath. Exhale, lean forward, another wide squat. Elbows inside the knees. Open up your inner thighs, press through your feet. Ground yourself. Full inhales and exhales. Standing star one more time. If you're dizzy, just pause. Big breath. This time we're not going to lean forward. We're going to come into that goddess with our chest rising upward. And you can come a little bit like this. If your knees are feeling comfy, you can go lower. My knees hurting me a little bit today, so I'm going to stay kind of high. Press into your feet. Lift your chest. Reach your arms out or up. Get yourself big. Round into your legs. Feel the work. Spin your dry legs with your feet. If you're not sure what that means, toes pull back, heels pull forward. Wake up a lot of those muscles in your hips. Okay, and then straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet in. Okay, so now you might have heard me say in the beginning that sometimes experiential learning, it requires a fair amount of patience. So I'm going to teach you something that isn't so easy to grasp for some people. So I'll try to, it's hard to do this online, but I'm going to walk back so you can see my whole body. Okay, I'm going to show it to you in its normal pace first so that you can just see what we're working toward. It's an amazing feeling in your rib cage. And then you go the other direction. All right, so, and you can do this fast. You can do it slower. This is what I do when I can't swim. Okay, it's a really great feeling of rib cage mobility and shoulder movements. So I'll break it down slowly. So see if you can mirror me. Okay, so feet are hip width apart or a little bit wider. I like to think of this, I'm a swimmer, so my body has memory in that way. But even if you don't, probably you know freestyle and backstroke, or at least in essence, you understand the concept of it. So I'll try to teach from that perspective. So we're gonna start with our arms straight out. Now I want you to turn to the right and then do a little freestyle stroke. So with your right arm, you pull back, left arm, you pull back, and then you turn. And when you get to this side, a backstroke. And then you turn. Freestyle stroke. And then a backstroke. So just try to mirror what I'm doing. I'm going to start again, really slow. That I'll call, well, it's hard because I'm doing opposite from you, so I could screw up with my left and right. So I'll try my very best to say opposite of what I'm doing. So with your right arm, you scoop down, you turn to the right, scoop your left arm down, right arm comes up and over, spin to the center, turn the other direction, left arm is up, backstroke, right arm joins into a backstroke, turn, switch directions. Okay, now I'm going to do this super slow-mo. So instead of words, you can just try to mirror what I'm doing. Make sure you're breathing. And then if you feel like you got it, you can go ahead and move faster. We're going to challenge everything by switching directions in a moment. relax. Take a breath. Notice what your rib cage, your shoulders, and your breathing feel like. Now we're going to go the other direction. So we're going to take your right arm, swing it over. We're turning left like a freestyle. Right arm comes over and then turn to the other side. Back. Turn. Freestyle. Try to go really slow. Hopefully you can see me okay. I'm letting my feet move. You don't have to be stuck with your lower body. Now, if you got it, you can start to create, you can bend your knees and do it more. You can find whatever ways feels good. All right, so hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I know that's not easy. It was easy for me to grasp because I have a big imprint in my body for swimming. So it just felt natural to me, but other people I know who have tried to learn this, it's not so natural. So just practice. Practice makes perfect. Once you get the movement pattern, it really does feel amazing to be able to just have something that you do. It's a great mobility practice if you just have a moment, you get up from your seat and you want to do something to move your rib cage and your spine around. All right, stand at the front of your mats. Find your breath. If you're able to get that feeling or that movement, just feel what it does for your body. We're going to take our feet wide on the mat now. Okay. You can have a block if you want. We're going to find our way into a couple of standing poses. So Parsvakonasana, elbow bends. You can put your hand on a block if you so choose, and feel that fullness of the side body length. Ground into your 2 feet, breathing well. Shoulders away from the ears. Put your arm anywhere that feels good. If your shoulder needs a break, you can always bring your hand down. Root into your legs. Come on up, reverse a triangle pose. Reach that arm to the sky and find your way into triangle. Open the chest, root the feet, ground through the back heel. Notice the tipping of the pelvis. Once you've tipped, notice if you lock out your right knee, see if you can unlock. Root into the big toe. Breathing well. Stretching the low back a little bit, feeling the shoulders move away from the ears. Okay, come back up and move our feet over to the other side. Come into Parsvakonasana, elbow on your knee or hand on your block. Stretch your other arm over your head. Feel that fullness of your posture. Ground into your feet. Enjoy the full length of your side body. Shoulders move away from the ears. Let your hands be a little softer, perhaps. Your eyes be a little softer. What are you sensing in this posture? Is the embodiment giving you information that just thinking about this pose can't do? Release, move into a reverse triangle pose, and then find your way into full triangle pose. Now, it's also kind of interesting. So yes, we need experiential learning in order to fully grasp mind-body connection, in order to fully experience the sutra on so many levels. But also, isn't it amazing what you can do just in your mind? Have you ever done your yoga practice or done any movement practice inside the visualizations in your mind? So we need our mind too. It's not just the body, the mind, body. See if you can knit the two together where they're inseparable. All right, come back up. Turn back to the front of your mat. Dog pose. Bend your knees a lot. Okay. See if you can push off your hands. Feel that length in your back body. And then we're going to come down into child's pose. Soften, relax, breathe fully. So let's come into pigeon pose. If you want to do reverse pigeon pose, by all means, do reverse pigeon pose. If you need support, take support. Right leg's coming first. Extending through your spine. Once you get settled, check in and make sure your hip, your ankle, your SI joint, your back, your knee, all of your joints are in a happy balance of no pain, where you feel supported. And so allow for the depth of this pose to kind of melt its way into you. Breath is here for you. Let your exhales guide you just a little bit deeper. Feel into that state of length and space in the body. Is your breath able to stay deep? Come back around. Second side. Now you might be on your back, you might be on your front. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you have the right amount of support for whatever you're doing. You don't want to have joints screaming at you. If there's alarm bells or you're guarding against something, trying to hold yourself away from the depth, then try to shift something so that you can relax more, where you feel safe in your joints. If your joints are unsafe, there's no way you're going to relax. If you're not going to relax, your nervous system is not going to let go. Try to feel that cascade of ease. So you have to put yourself in a position of support, safety, and comfort in order for that ease to arrive. Relax your hands. Relax your skull. Soften all the muscles of your face, your tongue. Keep the base of the skull as relaxed as you can. Feel ready. You can come out of there. We're going to come onto our right side. Bend your knees. I'm going to grab onto your left foot so that you're stretching your quadricep muscle. Feeling into that openness of your thigh. tailbone descends, pubic bone lifts. And then while we're here, bend your knees. Place your right hand on the top of your head. Most of you have done this with me before, but let's remember the knees stay down on the ground for this. We're going to lift our chest and our feet up, and then release our head, chest, and feet down. Try to exhale when you lift up. Try to inhale when you come down. Relax. Come onto your back, bring your knees to your chest, rocking a little bit. Then we're going to come over onto our other side. Knees are bent. Okay, our left hand's fingers are on top of our head. You know, if this bothers your shoulder in any way, it's okay to put your elbow forward. You don't have to have your elbow up if that's uncomfortable. Okay, we're going to lift our feet and our chest, and then exhale down, or sorry, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. One more. Relax over onto your back, knees into your chest, rocking. All right. Now you have a choice here. We're going to do a restorative pose. So I would choose for what we've been doing with opening the spine, the hip, the side waist and the rib cage. I would choose something like Supta Baddha Konasana or heart bench. If your body's feeling really open, you can also choose the twist over a bolster. I'm going to demonstrate that since we don't do it as often. You can have your right leg straight. You can bend your left knee. Oh, I forgot we didn't stretch the quad on your other side, did we? Let's go ahead and find our way to stretch our right quadricep. Roll over onto your side, grab onto your right foot. So we're on our left side. Sorry about that. Don't want you walking out of your room feeling all imbalanced. So let's find that good squat quad stretch. All right. So I'm using 2 blankets, but you could use a bolster if you want to do this pose. You can also do heart bench or Supta Baddha Konasana. Actually, any posture. You don't have to listen to me. But I'm tucked into half virasana. I'm going to turn my torso toward the blankets and lay down on them. And maybe even might turn my head. I might even turn my head in the opposite direction of my foot. So this is an option. If you're unfamiliar with, and leave room, you have to do 2 sides if you're going to do that pose. If you're going to do heart bench, you have 1 block in between your shoulder blades and the other block at the same height or a notch higher underneath your head. And you can let your arms and legs go wherever you want them to be. And then, of course, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet come together. You have support underneath your back, maybe support underneath your hips, and just find the posture that your body wants right now. And if your body wants a different posture from all of those choices, then by all means, give your body a different choice from all those postures. Okay. So if you're doing the twist, you're gonna the leg that starts in virasana with the knee bent, you're gonna lift that hip off the ground and let your whole torso turn so that your belly lies down on the bolster. Doesn't matter. There's there's benefit in every single pose that you might do. One of the greatest things of having a consistent yoga practice is starting to really understand your body mind, knowing which poses your body needs to kind of counter and release from all the things that you do, which poses serve you on which days, when you're feeling collapsed or low energy, or you're feeling jittery, or you're feeling whatever you're feeling, there's always a pose that can support. So the more we get to know our practice and our bodies, the more available we have those choices. Be in the breath. Make sure you've changed to the other side if you're doing a two-sided posture. Breathing well. Whenever you are ready to come out of the posture, you can. There's zero rush. If you want to stay here for a really long time, you can. If you want a longer shavasana, you can make that transition now. Now, when you transition, you might need a counter pose out of the pose that you just did. Maybe you need a happy baby pose, or a supine twist, or a little rocking bout. Maybe you need extra support for shavasana. So whatever the needs are, allow yourself to take what you need. And if you're at all chilly, make sure that you have something covering you. It's cold outside today, at least here in Denver. So make sure you feel very, very warm. Keep the heat of your practice in so that as your body rests, it stays fluid. Help and surrender into the ground. slowly. As deeply breathing. Before you move very much, just feel into the presence of your mind body. Feel into the presence of your breath. And eventually you can start to wiggle your fingers, toes. Big stretch if it feels good. Small little ball if it feels good. However, you want to transition out of your posture. Take some time on your side. As you come up to sit, let's bring our hands together, our heart. There's no rush. Take your time finding your pathway here. And as you come to sit, notice the gift of your practice, the presence, the mind-body presence. Let's offer the energy outward. Send your energy to another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Blessings on the day.